Hi everybody, I'm Cassandra from Crafts to Live After and welcome to another video. Now you guys, today's video is going to be slightly different. I was recently tagged by my lovely friend Jenni over at In My Spare Time Crochet to do the Crochet Creator Tag question. So it's 10 questions or 11 questions about my crochet journey. Now, because I don't really have anything to show you in terms of physical crochet this week, well, I've got a ton of things to show you, but they are for upcoming videos. So I thought this is the perfect opportunity to do this tag video. I'm usually terrible at tag videos. I don't seem to ever get around to doing them. But I thought today is the perfect opportunity to do this tag video. I've really enjoyed watching other people do this tag. So I'm sort of a few weeks into the whole tag process. There's been loads of videos popping up everywhere of people doing this specific tag. And I thought today I will answer these questions. So I do have the questions on my phone, not that you can see, but I will be looking down on my phone to read the questions, in case you're wondering why I'm looking down every now and again. But let's jump in and let me start answering these questions. So the first question, how did you learn to crochet? As many people, I learned to crochet via YouTube tutorials. So back in, I think it was 2013, so good 12 years ago now, I knew nothing about crochet. I had seen a Facebook page of a girl that was in the same school as I was. We were the same age. She was like the successful accountant in her day-to-day job, but she had started her own sort of crafty business on the side, doing knitted and crocheted toys. And I loved everything she did. So I decided, sort of as a New Year's resolution, that I was going to try and learn to crochet. I went to my nearest haberdashery, just bought random yarn. I knew nothing about differences of yarn, different hook size, nothing. I didn't know a thing about crochet. So I picked up a few things. I found a YouTube tutorial for a pig by Sharon Oyala. I know a lot of people have learned to crochet with Sharon Oyala's videos. I will tag the piggy video if I can find it. I know it's on YouTube still. If I can find the video, I will link it down below. But that was the video that I learned to crochet with. So I started with that pig and I've just never looked back. So I've been constantly crocheting since that time. So that, in short, is how I learned to crochet. Next question. What is your favorite thing to crochet? Now, it is no secret, friends, and if you have been around for even a short amount of time on my channel, you will know that my favorite thing to crochet is amigurumi. I love making toys. I've got actually a slight obsession with toys, to be honest. I collect a lot of toys. My entire office looks like a toy shop. It brings me a lot of joy. I'm not sure why I've got this big love of toys. My kids inherited it as well. They love toys as well. So it is just something that's in our house, in our family, and I just enjoy it so much. So this is why amigurumi is my absolute favorite thing to crochet. Next question. If you could use only one yarn for the rest of your life, what would that be? Again, zero secrets here. Rainbow Cotton 8/6, which is 100% cotton that I buy from Hobby. The 8/6 is just the perfect thickness. It's a sport weight yarn. I love working with it. The Rainbow Cotton 8/6. I could work with that for the rest of my life and I'll be perfectly happy. I think cotton is even perfect for wearables, but obviously for me being an amigurumi maker, that is my absolute favorite #1 yarn to use. I will use it forever. It comes in like 100+ different colors. I cannot express my love for the Rainbow Cotton 8/6 enough. Alrighty, next question. Weirdest thing you've ever made. Now, my style is not really weird, and I went onto my photo library like back years to see what was the weirdest thing that I've ever made. And honestly, I couldn't really find anything extremely weird that I've ever crocheted. I did find something that is very much out of my realm of bears and bunnies and cutesy things, which is more my style. So the one thing that I found that's sort of outside of that was this cute little zombie that I did a couple of years back. So that is probably the strangest thing, completely out of my usual style, that I have crocheted. Apart from that, I couldn't really find anything super weird. So I think that zombie would be the weirdest thing I've ever crocheted. Something you'll never crochet. Now you guys, this one is very easy. I will never crochet a swimsuit or a bathing suit or a bikini. I have mentioned many times, I am a slightly bigger gal, so I need industrial strength fabrics to keep all of the bits in their place, and crochet bikini is just not going to cut it. So I will never in my life crochet for myself a bikini. I don't even wear in swimsuit material a bikini. I don't know. I think the last time I probably wore a bikini was 100 years back when I was still in school. But that is absolutely the one thing that I will never crochet. Also, I'm not really a big fan of these crochet things of, you know, private bits. I know there's a bit of it going around. Every now and again something pops up on someone's channel. But no, I don't do anything to do with any private bits. So that's it. Where do you get your inspiration? I get it from literally anywhere. I get it from watching YouTube videos of other crochet artists. I get it from my crochet books. I get it from crochet magazines. I get it from Instagram. I get it from Pinterest. I get it from drawings that my kids make. I get it from drawings that I see in coloring books. And I will, at the end of the video, talk a bit about a coloring book thingy that's happening. But I can literally get inspiration from anywhere. My favorite thing is if I go onto Pinterest, I will actually, in the search, type in something like cute animal illustrations. So I don't search for crochet projects specifically. I will look for illustrations of cute animals. That's where I get a lot of my inspiration from. But really, inspiration can come from literally anywhere. And this is why I love being part of this community. I love watching a lot of different types of videos. I love art videos as well. It's nice to see what other creative people do, you know, in their specialized field of art, be it painting, sculpting, crochet, knitting, whatever it is. It's just, I mean, there's endless things around us every day where we can draw inspiration from. So that actually is a very long answer. Basically to say I can get it from everywhere. Next, favorite thing you've made so far this year. Now, strangely, even though I'm an amigurumi artist, my favorite thing, it's actually two things I've made this year, has been my hexie cardies. I've made one for myself, I've made one for my son. That was my favorite thing that I've made this year so far. And I think the reason is because it was so far out of my comfort zone and I really enjoyed the process. It was a community project almost that was started by my friends KK and Kristen over at K&K Crochet. And if it wasn't for that, I don't think I ever would have even attempted a cardigan. But that has to be the favorite thing I've made this year, as the two cardigans, one for myself and one for my son. Next, crochet plans you're excited about for the future. Now, you guys, if you've been around the channel for a while, you'll know that I absolutely love crochet alongs. I love cals, I like collabs. I just like the whole community thing behind crochet. So what I'm excited for on like upcoming future plans, I really want to do another like crazy crochet collab, and I've asked you guys for some ideas. Last night I was watching a video about someone doing the granny square crochet flower card deck. So there's two card decks out at the moment, or crochet granny square card decks. There's the regular granny square card deck, which is a little box with a bunch of cards in it with patterns for granny squares. Recently a new one has been released, the granny square crochet flower card deck. I don't know what the full name is, but I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun to get one of those boxes and send that around the world, and whoever gets the box, they pick one of the cards, they make the specific square, and then they write their quote onto the card. Like the top, there's a printed image of the actual square, and as I did for the world tour where we wrote a quote, each person who got the book wrote a quote on the page of the pattern that they selected. For the card deck, imagine if you decorate or you write a quote onto the little card. And that is a nice, that's got a nice variety of projects or squares in it. A square is fairly quick to make, and there's 50 in there. So that is something I'm considering, is doing. Now I know we're still actually busy with there's a lot of crochet granny square cals going on at the moment. We've been busy finishing up the Year of Granny Squares cal by my friend Jenni. So I'm not sure if I will do a granny square cal, but that thing, to send that box around and everyone picks a card, decorates it, and it gets sent around, I don't know. That is what I've got in my mind. But this is what I'm excited about. Like another big community collab sometime in the very near future. Next question. Worst thing about crochet. Now, to be honest, I don't think there's a lot of bad things about crochet. For me, the worst thing about crochet is actually having a crochet slump, or like a loss in crochet, which I have experienced the last couple of months, to be honest. And it happens. It is something that happens to anyone. If you do something a lot, you do get into a bit of a slump. So for me, that was actually the worst thing about crochet. It's not the crocheting part. It's falling into a slump that is sort of preventing me from crocheting. I don't really know if there's anything else I would say. I know for a lot of people, crochet can create some pain in your shoulders, your arms, your back, your wrists. I don't experience a ton of pain from crocheting. So for me, definitely being in a crochet slump, not being able to decide on something to crochet, that for me is the worst thing about crochet. My favorite thing about crochet. Now, this one is super easy. My favorite thing about crochet is the community around crochet. Now, I've been on YouTube for about 3.5 years now. I have met the most fantastic people in this community. Every week when I pop on here, you guys are wonderful. You interact with me, you interact with each other. I love it. Like every time I do a crochet along or some other collab, like there's a ton of people joining in and jumping on and taking part, and I love it. That is the absolute number one favorite thing about crochet, and it is the crochet community. I mean, without it, I don't know if crochet would be as much fun if it wasn't for the community. So by far, hands down, that's my favorite thing about crochet. Last question, which is actually a bonus question. The worst and favorite things about being a crochet content creator. Now, I love doing videos on YouTube. I love, as I mentioned, the interaction every week, people commenting, people sending me emails, people tagging me on Instagram. I love it. That is the one part, is that I have sort of met so many people from so many countries around the world through being a crochet content creator. That is the part I love the most. My least favorite part, as sometimes feeling sort of obligated to have something to show. It does create a bit of pressure. So you can imagine for 3.5 years to every week put out a video, have something to show, even if you don't feel like it. Now, sometimes when I've not felt like it, I have skipped uploading a video. But I think that sometimes is the one thing. I've gotten better at it over the years, but it's feeling that pressure to have to make something to show. Even though I crochet all of the time, you know, I don't just want to sit here and show you a half-made bear every week, or 2 rows that I've done an entire week on a granny square, even though that is probably more realistic, because that is how a lot of us are. We are not crochet factories. Like, we don't just constantly pump out millions of projects like on a weekly basis. So maybe I should just share random stuff and show you, okay guys, in 7 days I've crocheted 2 rounds of something. I think that's probably a little more realistic. So the pressure content creators put on themselves, well, we put the pressure on ourselves, let me put it like that. It's not that I think anyone out there puts the pressure on us. We put the pressure on ourselves because we really want to be able to show you something and inspire you. And yeah, it is definitely like a second job, which I love. I love coming on here every week. If I didn't love it, I would not have continued on for so long. And you guys, that's it. This actually went by a little quicker than I thought. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being a part of this crochet community that is just making it so much fun for me every week to pop on here and chat to you all. As I mentioned every week, I'm getting worse and worse at answering comments. I love reading them. I read them almost immediately when I see them pop up. I do live in a slightly different time zone from a lot of people. Even with the time zone difference, it still takes me several days, sometimes weeks, and sometimes not at all answering the comments. But I read every single one. I read every single email. I read every single post that someone tags me in. I keep it going, you guys. I love it. I love being a part of your lives just as much as I love having you being a part of mine. Now, something completely different that I'm going to sneak in here. My lovely friend Julie over at KS Mom Crochets. Now, a little backstory while we're sort of on a Q&A and I'm telling you about my crochet life. A few months after I started my crochet channel, I found Julie's channel. So I think she started either a little bit before me or around the same time, but she was a slightly bigger channel than me at the point when I discovered her. So she had a couple of 100 subscribers. I had like 40 subscribers at the time of me finding Julie's channel. Now, I'm really bad at commenting on people's videos. I almost never comment on people's videos. It's really bad. I mean, I know how much I love it when people comment on my videos, but I just almost never comment. So for me, it was actually pretty strange to comment on Julie's video at one point. And based on my YouTube handle, which is Craftably Ever After, Julie sort of clicked on it. She saw that I had also a YouTube channel. She found my blog. She found my Buddy Bear pattern on my blog. She made it. And she was the very first person to give me a shout out on YouTube. So after Julie mentioned me on YouTube, I slowly began to climb in subscribers. After Julie, my friend Caroline, for the love of crochet, she found me just after Julie, or based on Julie's video, and it just, you know, just continued from there on. So I have been crochet friends with Julie from about the start, like for a good 3 years now of me being on YouTube. We've done several collabs together as well. And what's nice is Julie's 2 daughters are very autistic, the same as my children. So we have that in common as well. And if you watch Julie's channel, I will link it down below. She recently had a beautiful, and it was not the first time, she's done it before. She had a beautiful video of showing her daughter's art. Now, a year ago, when my Sunny the Sorbet bear pattern appeared in Crochet Now magazine, I asked Julie's daughter, because she did some coloring book illustration specifically for Julie based on some crochet items that Julie had done. So I made a comment on the video. I said, oh Julie, can you please ask your daughter to do a coloring page for me for Sunny the sorbet bear, which Caitlin did, and it was brilliant. I loved it. I still have the coloring page that I did color. It's at my desk. So Julie sent me yesterday an email. She said, oh, she wanted to let me know that Caitlin has created more coloring pages based on all of the patterns I have designed so far. I was amazed. I absolutely loved it. Caitlin has such a beautiful style. You know, you can clearly see it's based on my crochet characters. So what I've done, now I will show you the one that I've colored in so far, which is this cute illustration of Coco the reindeer. Now, Coco the reindeer, he appeared in Crochet Now magazine last year in November. So he was in one of their Christmas issues. So apart from Coco the reindeer, she did a bunch of others. And I have asked Julie and Caitlin's permission if I can add them to my blog as a little mini coloring book. So I will pop on the screen sort of just a quick view of the characters that Caitlin created. I will put a link in my description box that will take you straight to my blog, where if you want to, you can download this little mini coloring book of the illustrations that Kate created based on my crochet designs. I love it. I cannot wait to color the rest of them. And if any of you download any of those images and color them, please share it with myself and Julie on Instagram. I will put Julie's Instagram also down below. Please, we would love to see. I mean, obviously I would love to see it because it is all of my favorite, well, it's almost all of my crochet characters, and Julie and Caitlin would definitely love to see it because it is based on Caitlin's drawings. So I hope you guys enjoy this little sort of separate creative insert that I've got here today. I hope you will enjoy the super cute drawing. So if you color it in, if your kids, your grandkids, whoever colors in any of these images, please tag me, tag Julie. We would love, love, love to see it. All right, you guys, that is it for this week. Next week, I've got a super, super fun video coming up. Secretly behind the scenes, my friend Cindy and I, Cindy from the Roomy Mill. I know all of you are watching Cindy. She is absolutely brilliant. We have been working on a little mini fun challenge for each other. The videos will be out next weekend, somewhere around the 21st, I think, or 22nd, 23rd, somewhere there of June. So in a week's time. So don't miss that. It's going to be very, very fun. I cannot wait to see what Cindy has come up with based on, well, you will have to see. It's going to be fun. This is all I can say. All right, you guys, that's it for this week. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for being a part of my life. And as always, you guys, until I see you in the very next video, stay safe and stay crafty.